All right. Hi. I see we don't have that many viewers. That's okay though. We have two people here. Thank you so much, Roshan, for being here again. I appreciate you. I am going to be sharing some amazing pixel arts and what I do with them. So I will be sharing quite a few templates in a little bit so that you can choose if you have a crossword puzzle or a sudoku puzzle or something like that that you would like to turn into a digital activity. That would be super helpful. So I'm going to be showing you the steps, but if you have something to work along with me, that would be awesome. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for being here again. I appreciate you being here. So I have quite a few things to share. I'm going to start in a little bit. We'll see if anybody else comes in just kind of sharing. So yeah, but if you're catching the replay, everything's going to be linked in the description box. And if you're watching the replay with the chat on the side that shows up, all the links will be in there too, because I'm not deleting our live chat, and I'll be sharing everything in there. I'm not going to be sharing it on Facebook Live this time because that kind of takes a long time and I don't have access to my third screen right now. So if you are from Facebook, I'll post that all at the end after. So you'll be able to grab it from the description if you're catching the replay anyway. But yeah, so let's just give it a couple more minutes. There's 4 viewers. Say hi. Thank you so much for being here. Maybe I'll just go ahead and kind of get started a little bit. I do want to, what I'm going to say next, I just kind of want to preface, I don't want to charge. Yes, this is Argentina football jersey. Argentina is playing the final today. That's where I'm from. So I'm from Argentina, born and raised, moved to the States when I was young, but I am from Argentina, and today is the Copa America final, and Argentina's playing, so gotta rep, right? I wear this every time they play. Yeah, and my player is Di Maria. I know you can't see it because I'm not gonna turn around right now, but it's Di Maria, and today is his last game with our national team, so he's retiring after this. So super excited. Send us good vibes. Yeah, so good luck to Argentina. But yeah, thanks for noticing. So, all right, I do love to share for free, right? And I always do, but I also just wanted to share this opportunity right now. It does not benefit me at all, but if you are part of the Facebook group and you donated, I did this fundraiser. I worked all of Thanksgiving break and all of Christmas break creating activities, and people from the group donated to my son's trip to Japan, his senior trip next year. And I was super thankful. I was able to pay off that entire trip through myself, but also through a ton of donations. And one of my son's friends is also going, and this is his fundraising page. So I did want to offer the same thing in case you are interested. I'm going to show you what you get for a donation. I have no way of knowing whether or not you donated other than you sending me a screenshot. So because again, this is not my account like it was my son's or anything. So I get nothing out of this, but if you are interested in donating, I'm going to put this in the chat. He would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. This is for his tour to Japan also. And if you make a donation, in the group, I asked for a $35 donation. But really, if you donate, I don't know, 20, 25, I'd be more than happy with still sharing everything. Because again, I share a lot of this for free, but I could never share this much. So what do you get if you make a donation to Rodrigo's trip? You would get access to my Google Drive. So I would add you to my Google Drive, just kind of like a sneak peek of what I have in here. This is my Teachers Pay Teachers folder. Every one of these folders you would have access to, and there are hundreds of activities here that are already made for math. And some of these, let me see if I can find one of them, like this one, the Math Spiral Review. There's 50 activities within this particular folder. So there are hundreds, maybe even close to 1,000 activities for your classroom. You would also, here's my teaching folder before I moved over to Teachers Pay Teachers, but I have activities for Algebra 1, again, hundreds, Algebra 2, probably close to 1,000 Algebra 2 ones because that's what I teach. AP Statistics, there's some calc activities, not that many because I don't teach calculus, but there's some Spanish activities. So again, tons and tons and tons. I would only ask, and you would get access to all of this, right? All of it and everything that I create in the future, because I just add them to these folders, for a donation to his trip. So I did want to put that out there. Again, I'm not benefiting from it at all, but if you are interested in just having a plethora of activities, he would appreciate it. And if you just want to just send a small donation just because, that would also, I'm sure he would appreciate that a ton. You can send me a message on Instagram. My handle is the same, Jorgelinas.Journey, or on an email. It's always linked in my description so that I can add you to this. So just send me your email address and a screenshot of the donation, and I will add you to my drive. So yeah, you'll see this. Also, I'll just add real quick before I get started, that there are no fees to this. So if you donate $20, he gets $20, and it goes 100% towards this total. You would see this go down by $20. So he's making payments every month. He took on a job so that he could do this. And yeah, so it would help him with his monthly payments and things like that so that he can make it to Japan next year. All right, so anyway, I am going to close this out. And let's get started. I don't need access to my drive, so I'm also going to close this out. I just wanted to show you guys, like, it's literally so many things in here. Okay. These are the templates that I'm going to be working out of. So I'm just going to share 3 of them. If you want more Pixel templates, join the Facebook group. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of there for free, or you can purchase them from Julianne Hodkinson. She has a Teachers Pay Teachers where she sells the templates. They're fairly inexpensive. So you can, I mean, she has thousands in there. But these are ones that I created. There is this Friends one. It's definitely a favorite. I'm going to go ahead and share. This is what we're going to be working with, one of these templates. So here's the first one. All right, so that's the Friends template. And so I kind of have 2 sides of this channel. My lives are for teachers, so I show teachers how to create digital activities, and then my channel where I post twice a week is about handbags, so totally different, but I do have a huge love for bags, so I just share that twice a week. All right, this one's the other one that I'm going to share. This is a template with a little gardening fox. I love this one. If you teach elementary school, these tend to be better than maybe something like Friends. So I just kind of wanted to share some different options. Again, if you want different ones, check out the Facebook group. There's tons of them in there for free. But this one's the fox one. And then the one that I'm going to be working off of, I'm going to close these 2, so Friends and Fox Gardener. And I'm going to be working off of this one. This is a Studio Ghibli one. I feel like if you have kids that are really into Ghibli, it doesn't matter whether they're in high school or college or middle school, they love it. It has a huge fandom, and the little kids appreciate it too. A lot of them watch these movies as well, so it just kind of goes with everything. Hey Julianne, in the comments, I was just talking about your store. I'm so glad you could make it. All right, so again, this is the one I'm going to be working on. So in the chat, you have the 3 templates: Friends first, the Fox second, and then this one that I am going to be working with, okay? Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to create out of them and share all of those activities as well. So I will tell you which ones Julianne made, because a lot of these, the pixels were actually created by her. She's in the chat. And then I took those pixels and I turned them into these type of activities, okay? I know. I would love it if you had. I know. Julianne's sick. She was supposed to join me today, but she's sick and has a cough. She has COVID. But we'll definitely get together and do one together. It's just my pixel life wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for Julianne. So this is a cross sum puzzle, and I'm going to be sharing this activity right now. Let me just go ahead and put it in the chat. These are super fun. Even if you don't teach math, these are great for like a brain break or a quick warm up, or like if you have early test finishers, things like that. Kids get really into it. So you would just delete these numbers. This is how it starts off. Oh, one more missing. All right, so it starts off like this, and the task is for students to use the numbers 1 through 9. They can use the numbers more than once, but they can't repeat in any row or column. So they're adding, right? This is a sum puzzle, so like this row has to add up to 3. This column, this row has to add up to 4. So they're just kind of solving the puzzle, and as they're answering, the shark is popping up. All right, so that's that one. It's in the chat. You can create something like this with what I'm going to be showing today. Okay, so this is a cross sum. Here is a sudoku puzzle. This is what the students would start off with. So I'm going to share this one. This is what it ends with. This was created by Julianne, this awesome, adorable little puppy. I love looking at it. I don't. What is Zialu? I don't know what that is. Or Zialu? Zialu? I don't know what that is. But this one, right, so you would delete all the ones that have colors, and then students would see it like this, and as they are solving the Sudoku puzzle, they're getting this adorable little puppy. I am going to share this one as well. Remember, these are always free. All you need is access to a Google Drive, and then you can assign it to students. And so there's that one. If you have a second, make sure that you like the stream, especially if you are liking it, if you enjoy it. So because it does help me get seen, and then everybody that watches the replay can have all these also for free. All right, so there is that Sudoku. Here's another Sudoku. This one's simpler, so if you teach lower grades, this one's great. Instead of being a 9-piece Sudoku, is a 6-piece Sudoku, so it's a really good introduction to Sudoku. This pixel art was also made by Julianne. This one is Zelda. So here is a Zelda one. If you have gamer students, a huge hit. Zelda, can't go wrong with it. So I'm going to share this one. Works the same, but lower level. I like to share at the beginning because I know there's people that don't want to watch this, and that's okay. I get it. Maybe you just want the freebies, and I'm totally okay with that. So there's that one. And here's another Sudoku. This one's also a 9-piece. This image was also made by Julianne because she's amazing. And this is another Zelda one. Okay, this is that little RPG Zelda game. This one's a 9-piece Sudoku. So higher level. And that one is also in the chat. And then my last one that I'm sharing before I start working on changing another one into it, and more of what I'm going to be working on today, is this math cross puzzle. So if you teach English instead of math and you want to create a crossword puzzle, it would be the same thing, right? Because student, instead of typing in numbers, they would be typing in letters. So that will also be the same. I am going to be creating a math one because I teach math. So this is what students see at the beginning. In a math cross puzzle, I do give them the numbers that they can use. They can only use them once at most, right? And they start filling in these little yellow ones. And at the end, this is what this one in particular looks like. So they're adding, multiplying, dividing, all that good stuff, all in one place, and just playing around with those operations. Okay, so it's really good for a warm up. This is, I mean, it can go as early as elementary, you know, 3rd or 4th grade, but kids that are older can also find a challenge. Sometimes I have a challenge coming up with them. So they can definitely be a challenge. So I'm going to post this one in the chat as well. All right, and again, this is what I'm going to be creating. And now, 18 minutes later, we are going to get started. All right, I'm going to close this out. And I'm going to make a copy of this one. And this is going to be math cross number 2. And this will be my answer key. And I'm going to put this into my Spanish. No, what am I talking about? Oh, it's because I opened all these folders. Of course I did. Let's save this into the YouTube folder I made. All right. Okay, so now I have a clean copy to work with. So I do have on my phone, so I am going to be looking down a bunch. On my phone, I have the image of what I want to create. So I have the actual puzzle in here. I am not making these from scratch. That would take forever, right, to try and come up with the numbers. So I definitely have what I want to create already set up with me on the side. I am going to first, because this is, again, going to be a template, I am going to delete everything that I don't need right now, right? So I don't need the numbers. I don't need these blank pieces. So I'm just going to go right at the top and hit delete here. And notice how it doesn't affect your image at all, because there's no coding or anything like that there. So the first step is just to get rid of what you don't need. Okay, then using one of the pieces here, you want to create a very large working space. We're going to make it look nice later. Hey, Caroline, it's okay. You're not late. Your time zone is so different. If you scroll back up, I've shared a bunch of templates already. So we just got started. So I'm going to go with that first column, and I'm going to right click right at the top, and then go insert one column to the right. If I go to the left, that's also okay, but sometimes it grabs on the color that's on the left hand side. So I'm going to go to the right, and then I'm going to hit this redo button, because it's going to redo that action I just did a bunch of times. So I'm just going to give myself a nice large working space. It's better to have too many and then delete than to not have enough and have to add in the middle. And that's because everything just kind of gets distorted if you do that. So we want to add nice and big working space. You can do the same if you need more space up and down, but just know that that's also going to move your pixel art down. So yeah, so it's always easier to work left to right. I think that should be enough. Okay. I'm gonna take this. I'm not gonna need a title or the directions here, so I'm gonna erase that. I know, and honestly, I was not feeling my best this week, and every one of my posts about this live had either the wrong day or the wrong date. So it was like Saturday the 14th or Sunday the 13th. It was all over the place. The picture was correct, so hopefully there was no one trying to get to a live yesterday, but it was just like this giant mess. My next live will be next Sunday at 9 a.m. So same time, but next Sunday. Yeah, I think I haven't decided what I'm going to talk about, but I think I'm going to be doing the scavenger hunts because those are really fun. So I think that's going to be next. But yeah, okay. So nice big working space. Next part is now to start kind of creating what you need. Okay, so if you're doing a Sudoku puzzle, right, you would need that many squares, right, to the side, and it's going to be the same process. If you're doing a crossword puzzle, you would need that many like squares going to the left and down, right? So it just kind of depends on what you need, what size you're going to set these little boxes to. I definitely want a title. So my title is going to start right on, like, I like leaving an edge. So I'm going to start it here because it gives me one to the left and then one on top. So I'm going to start it here, and I'm going to go all the way through for my title because that's how I like my title to be. And then I'm going to click this little merge cells button, and this is going to be a math cross puzzle. So math cross puzzle. If you have a different title like Sudoku, you can definitely, that's what you would put there. Okay, so that's that one. Right below that, I am going to put the number key, right? So what numbers can students use? So I'm going to put that, I'm going to copy this title. That's not what I wanted to do. Ooh. Command copy, and I'm going to paste it right below here. And this is going to be number key or number bank. Number bank. Let's call it a number bank. And I'm going to make this very much smaller. All right. And then I know that my puzzle, I can see that this is too big. I'm going to delete this one, actually. I don't need that row. Okay, so I'm going to explain what I did right now. In this, I want to see how you can see on the side that these are all little tiny, 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 tiny. They're definitely different sizes in this. This is where my little squares are going to start. And I want them all to be exactly the same. So including the number bank, I want them to mimic and all look the same. So my number bank is going to have 14 numbers. That's how I make, that's the template that I have. It will have 14 answers. So I'm going to go a row of 7 and then a row of 7 right below. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. I'm going to be deleting a bunch of them. I could already see. So I'm going to go. I'm trying to figure out where. Let's start here. We can always move it after. So that's a good thing about this. I'm going to go right below it, and I am going to go. Come on. I want these to be squares. So I'm going to select a few like this. Right? So I'm just eyeballing it. I can always change it later. So I'm just going straight down, and then I'm going to merge. Okay? And then in that merge space, I'm going to add a border to it so I could see it. And that's a really tiny working space. So I am going to kind of get that row into a size that I feel like students would be easily able to see. Okay, with smaller lines is increasing the view. Oh, absolutely. You can definitely increase the view, right? So you can see it bigger. What I'm doing right now, though, it's because I wanted to see how the students are going to see it. So I'm eyeballing that, and I want this to be a square. So I'm going to go a little bit more down. All right, that's a box size that I like. Okay, if you notice, it's square-ish. I know it's not a perfect square, but it's square-ish. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from D, which is not my border, right? So where like the math starts, I'm going to click on this one first. I'm going to go to resize so I can see the size. This is size 47. Okay, and I want everything to be the same size. So now starting from D all the way here to the end, I am going to resize these columns to a 47. Right? Obviously, all my answers are over there on the side, but again, remember, it's easier to delete what you don't need than to keep it's easier to delete what you don't need than to then go through the process of having to add more to the side. So this is why I want like a giant working space. Okay. So now that I have this, remember I said I need 2 rows of 7. So I'm going to take this square that I already made and that I like the size, and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so this has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to copy this row, go down 1 below, and now I have a 7 by 7. This is going to be my number bank. Now, from here, I'm going to merge these cells, and I'm going to go and merge it right just on top of that. Okay. So then now my number bank is all together right here. You can even like unmerge this if you wanted to, and then start and then just merge up here and do a title here like this. And then we can put like that. Okay. So I will move this later. I'm going to move this to the center. The reason why I'm not doing it right this second is because I don't know exactly how my picture is going to look below it, and I do want it to be centered. So I can always move this because there's no coding or anything like that on here, so I could always move it later. So I'm going to leave it here for now. Okay. Now that I have my space, if you're doing a crossword puzzle, you would need much more space to put in your word, like to type in the words, right? Or your clues, or however you're working that crossword puzzle. Okay, so what's next? Does anyone have any questions so far? Because I'm happy to answer if you do. Okay, so I'm going to copy one of these. I'm going to copy one of these. I am going to give myself some space here. I think I like about that much. And I'm going to paste it. This is where you start building your puzzle out. Okay, so this is where you start building your puzzle out. Okay, so my puzzle has 4 blank spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 blank spots. And then it starts around here. Okay, so this is where my puzzle is going to start because it just kind of does this weird loop thing. So that means I don't need this one. So I'm going to merge it. This is how I like to get rid of it. Merge it all and then unmerge, and let's get rid of that. Okay. This is where my puzzle is going to start. And now it needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so 5. This is 1. I'm going to copy it, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just building around. From here, it's going to go down, 4, 5. And then it has 2 on the side and 2 on the side. And then, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oop. And it needs 2 above. So I'm going to click on this one and then go 2 above and 2 below. And then from here, it has 2 on the side and 2 on the side. And on this one, it has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I'm just kind of building it around right now. And I'm just looking at, I keep looking to the side because remember my puzzle is on my phone. Okay, now from here, all right, so I'm going to start also here. So what that one looks like. And then from here, 5, 5, that. Like that. All right, that's what my puzzle looks like. So you just copy one and then you work your way around it. If you have a crossword puzzle, this would be the same, right? So you're just building out your crossword puzzle. Notice how much space I have left. I actually realized that I don't want this. There's too much space on the left, so I'm going to delete that. And I have a buttload of space here on the right, so I'm going to delete all of these. Actually, let's leave one little space that we can delete at the end, but two, and I'm going to delete all these. I'm just selecting at the top and deleting all of that. All right. Okay. I'm noticing a lot of things with this pixel right now. One thing, definitely this thing's not centered, so I'm going to cut it. I'm going to select all of it as it is, and I'm going to go Control X to cut, and I am going to first move it to the side because it's all linked together, cut again, and then move it to, I think, now I'm eyeballing it. That is not centered. Just kidding. Let's undo that. And cut again. Like there. I don't even remember if it was too to the left or too much to the right. That's good. I like it there. Now I'm going to select everything and turn it yellow again. All right, that looks better. Not really. Nope. It does not. Oh, yeah, because I have more things to delete. Okay. I'll keep moving it later. This is always my issue. I could delete these. I don't need them. That's what it's going to look like. I'm going to take all these better, cut, and move one to the side. There you go. I like that better. And I'm going to delete this one. No, I'm not going to delete it. Then it's not going to be centered anymore. I'm talking to myself at this point. This is how I work, by the way. The chat has gone silent because I think you guys are just watching me, watching my brain just... All right. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, I don't like how much space is here at the bottom. There's a couple of things you can do. You could add, sometimes what I like to do when I have this much space, I like to make a big like square like this and put some words of encouragement, maybe add a picture, anything like that, right? That would just kind of fill in that space. What you can also do is you can cut the whole thing, right? So I could cut the entire thing and move it down and then put some instructions at the top. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just watch though. This number bank, the thing, is set in a really big area. So when I move it down, it's going to go this tiny. So I'm going to have to kind of merge it back up, but I'll show you that in a bit. You're going to see that happening right now. Again, this row number 5 is huge, and I'm about to cut it and paste it into a tiny little spot. So I'm going to paste it, I think right around here would be good. Again, remember you can always move it even further down. Yeah, let's move it further down, X, and I'm going to move it maybe here. That's okay. So now I have some space at the top, some space at the bottom, and this is what I meant. See how tiny this went? So I do need to make this a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to grab it. This is where Caroline's tip goes, right? 200. Now I can very easily click on it, much easier than before. Scroll it up and then hit that merge button. There it is, back again. And then I'm going to make everything yellow again. We can always change the colors later. But now it's at the bottom. And then here at the top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this space. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So there's space between the title. And then from here, I'm going to make a little area like this. Merge it. And then I'm going to add directions here. Directions. And this is a math crossword, so use the numbers in the number bank at most once within your math cross puzzle to fill in each operation. Once your as you answer correctly, the image will begin to show. All right, so that is looking a hot mess. I am going to change the orientation to the top. I am going to, the alignment is fine on the left. I am going to text wrap it. I'm going to select the word directions and bold it. And then I'm going to make the text bigger. Bam. All right, I'm loving this. I'm loving how this is looking now. Now that looks nice. These are all going to be gone soon. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, what is next? Now we got to start filling these things out. I'm going to go and select all of these numbers. Actually, let's first see what I want it to look like. So I'm going to put in a number. Actually, what's the first number on my list? Let's see. 27. All right, so that's my first number on my list. I am going to center, align it, center and middle. And then I'm going to make it as big as it'll go. I think that's a good size, 18. Okay, so 18 is the size that works. So I'm going to select all of these now. Why aren't you working with me? This thing's not wanting to work. Select all of them. And it was size 18. I'm going to make them all the same. Center, center. So now I don't have to do that over and over and over again to every one of them. I'm going to fill in my bank now. 25, 1, 21, 20, 3, 2, 3, 2, 12, 2, 43, 41, 14, 5, and 2. So that's what my number bank is going to look like. I'm going to change this top. I like using the colors that are part of the pixel already. They're always going to be in custom. So I'm selecting this here at the top. I'm going to make this one, this like hot pink, and then I'll make all the numbers like this little violet. I like that. Cute. Okay. Now I have to obviously start building this up here. Oh, this is another trick. Because the formatting when we cut it is going to change, I am going to select these two that have the answers before I start moving anything around. And I'm going to remove the border. And then I'm going to change it to the font size that I had before, right? So 18. Did I not change it? I did. Okay. So now the formatting is the same as these. So I don't have to, because if not, it'll copy and paste it. Okay, now I have to start filling out my puzzle. I am first going to fill in the pieces that should be there already. Okay, so the pieces that should be there. Oh, another thing. The other thing that you can do is, what background are these? It says yellowy color. I think I like that. I'm going to keep it. The background color is going to move with it too. Okay, so I'm going to keep that one there. And I want the background of the numbers that are already there in my puzzle to be a different color. Wow, that was not coming to my brain. Okay, so this is going to be 9. This right, and what color do I want it to be? Let's make it, make it baby blue. I like that. Baby blue and white all the way today. All right, these are going to be equal signs. The equal signs, if you put in an equal sign, just like that, it's going to think you're going to be writing a formula. We don't want any of that around here. So in order to type in an equal sign, you do need to use a apostrophe and then type in your equal sign. You always learn something new every day. Yay! I love that, right? It's like, I got to learn some tips or tricks or something. Caroline, you've been to so many. Thank you so much for all the support all the time. So I'm going to color these baby blue. All right. Every one of these fourth spaces, because these are going to be short equations, right? They are going to be equal signs. So I'm going to copy this one, and then I'm going to paste it in all the spots that are equal signs. Then I don't have to type it over and over and over again. I think I got all of them. All right, those are my equal signs. And then you have to do the same thing if you have any pluses or minuses, right? So if I type in a plus, it thinks I'm doing an equation. So I need to do a apostrophe and then the plus sign so that it's text. And I'm gonna, this little tool is also awesome for formatting. It copies the formatting. So then that it changed the formatting exactly how I want it. All right, so that's a plus. I'm going to copy the formatting and paste it here because I have a number there that's also a 9. I have now the pluses. I'm going to copy my pluses to where they go. This one's a plus. This one's a plus. And this one's a plus. This one's a plus. And this one's a plus. Perfect. Okay. Now up here's a 23. I'll do the formatting copying after. This is a 23. I'm just, again, filling in the pieces. Depending on what you have, yours is going to look different. 18, 24. Which one, Julianne? What's your new learn? I never think I'm teaching you anything. I learn from you too. 68. Did I get all the numbers? Well, I mean, it'll definitely come up in the end. Okay, so I think these are all the numbers. As I'm looking at it, I think I got them all. I need more operations in here though. So now I'm going to copy this one, and then I'm going to click on them. As soon as you click, it goes away. I know there's a way in Excel, like if you double click, it'll save it. Sheets, unfortunately, does not do that. So I'm just copying. There's my cat. I'm sorry. She is not happy right now. If you can hear her in the background, I apologize. Right, that's wonderful to know. And it's the same thing if you want to do like greater than or equal to, you put a little apostrophe before it. Oh, yeah. You have to, right? If not, it thinks it's a formula. That's why I use, like, for example, if you're going to have a student select greater than or less than, those kinds of things, then you put an apostrophe, you put a little thing before it and you make it a drop down so they can choose. They get used to it, or you teach them, right? Those are operations. This is technically, I always tell my students, I mean, they're a lot older, right? But I always tell them this is a very fancy calculator. That's what Excel is. So if you're going to put in operations, it's going to think you're doing some sort of formula. So, okay. Next one is multiplication. because this could be targeted towards little kids as well, I'm going to use the X as a math teacher. I'm not a big fan of the X as multiplication anymore as like a high school math teacher. I do like to use the dot, but let's stick to this one. That's okay. Capital's better. Let's change the font size. The font though, because is Arial better? Yeah, Arial's better on that one. Maybe a little smaller. I didn't like the times X. All right, is that my own? I think that might be my only multiplication problem. I still need my minuses. This one's a minus. Notice how the minus doesn't do that, and that's because it's a dash. That is also seen as font. This one, though, I gotta make bigger so you can see it more. Minus. Let's copy it and put it where all my other minuses are at. That's a minus. This is a minus. This up here is a minus. And I think that's it. And now we need the division. Okay. The division, I never remember what the code is. So what I like to use, and again, this comes up every single time, is symbol salad. I'll share this in the chat. Love this page. If you're a math teacher, this page is amazing. It has like everything here at the bottom. If you teach like science too, all those mathematical symbols are here, and these are all text, right? So it's going to read them as text. So I want the division sign. I'm going to copy. As soon as you click on it, it copies it, and then you can paste it as text. So, oh my God, my phone keeps turning off. So that I'm going to put that here. That's where that one's going to go. And I'm going to change that. And I'm going to copy it. Does it go anywhere else? Oh, that's the only place it goes. All right. I would have copied and pasted it at that point if I needed it to go anywhere else. I feel like I'm missing tons. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I see this one doesn't have anything on it. The equal sign there, and then the plus sign here. Okay. I'm just kind of going around and looking. And I should have 14 spots, right? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Perfect. All right. We got our 14. Now my template is ready, and now I'm ready to start moving things around. My text message just came through. That is my sister, who is also a teacher. Okay. So now we're going to start moving around. This is what, okay. So I have 28 answer choices here to move, and only 14 here. I did this on purpose. I picked one that has a ton so that we have to shrink the number of questions, and I want to show you how I do it. In general, when you are using a template, the majority of the answers will live in the majority of the colors will live in the last answer. Okay. So instead of copying and pasting from the beginning, right, instead of starting to move from the beginning, I like to move from the end. Okay. Because what that means is that at the beginning, I have less colors then to deal with to move around. Okay. Does that make sense? So again, I start moving from the end, because these usually have the most, the most coding in there. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to view more cell options, conditional formatting. Okay, so notice how I'm going to just visually explain what I was talking about. If I click on 28, all of these formats, all of this formatting belongs to number 28. Look at number 1. There's only these 3. Okay, so if I started with number 1 and then I had to move 28, I would have to do that for all of these colors. Okay, so again, always start at the end if you are going to have to move things around. Okay, if you anticipate needing more answers, right? So in this one, I'm shrinking, But if you anticipate needing more answers because you have a ton, like you have a crossword puzzle and that is probably a ton of letters, right? Start from the beginning, because the end is going to give you more options to move colors and to add questions. Because you can, in essence, add every one of these can become a new spot. Okay, so if you're adding, start from the beginning. If you are removing, like I am, start at the end. Okay? All right, so tips. These are all, I'm always going to give you all the tips. Again, remember, I don't hold anything back. I don't want to, right? Just sometimes, unless the questions come up, I don't really talk about it, right? Because I make these all the time. So it's just like tips and tricks that I picked out over the years of making these. Okay, so let's start moving these around. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move one at a time, and because these are going to be scattered everywhere, I'm going to start moving one at a time and changing the answers as I go on sheet 2. Okay, so here's the answers on sheet 2. You might have to do a little digging to find it, but I'm going to go and I'm going to move them around as I go. Okay, so I'm going to move this up to this one first. And now I need to look at my answer key because I don't want to do the math right now. Oh my goodness. Well, this answer is 27. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and move 27. I don't have to change anything. I unmerged it. Unmerge it first. And then I'm going to cut only that little one. And I'm going to paste it. So Control X to cut, and I'm going to paste it. And then I'm going to add my border again. I mean, you can add the border before you cut. But, I mean, that just worked out because that was 27 and the first answer is 27. This one, the answer is 3. So I'm going to cut 28. Again, unmerge first, cut, and then paste. If you don't unmerge, it's going to throw off your whole thing because these are not the same size as these. Right? They're not the same size, so it's just going to resize it. If you're cutting just one tiny little thing, it's going to fill in the space that you've already made. Okay, so unmerge first before you cut. This answer is 3. 27 divided by 9 is 3. So I'm going to go out here to the back and change 28 to 3. Okay, and now it comes back. All right, I am going to, give me a second. I am going to just kind of change my thing to my starting soon screen. I need to go get my cat out of the room. She is biting one of my handbags and I'm starting to freak out. One second. Ah. All right, I'm back. If my husband's watching that, I'm sorry. That's what the cat is nibbling away. Okay, I'm back. Oh, okay. Cats. If you guys are cat owners, you know. Okay, I remember the background that we chose is this light yellow. Do you guys think that's enough of a contrast? Enough of a change? I think so, maybe. Maybe I'm gonna move. Okay, this is another tip. I know, Caroline, I know you know this one already because we talked about this one before. But I'm selecting this and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna move this to the top. So now this one's gonna turn that color. So boom, right? It starts off light. Then when they type in the 27, it's very clear that it changed colors. Michelle, I didn't look at the handbag because I don't want to freak out right now. So I'll look at it later. Okay. Thanks for asking though. I'll update later. All right. What's next? This one, right? This one, the answer is going to be, is it 23? I think I wrote that wrong. There's no way that's 23 minus 23 because we don't have any zeros. This is 25. 25 minus 23. The answer to this one is 2. So I'm going to cut. Ooh. Ooh, notice what I'm, okay. As I'm looking at these, some of these have a lot more. But this one only has 3. Are there any of these that have a ton? 4 has a lot. Is there a 4 in here? No. Okay. Sorry, I'm just it doesn't matter. At this point it doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep going. I digress. All right, 26. We're gonna cut it. X, paste, add the border. This is gonna be the same process. This answer is 2. Go to sheet here and change 26 to 2. All right, and you gotta do if you're switching it around like this, you have to go back and forth and change your answers, because you're not gonna remember where those answers are. Right? Like, you're not gonna remember in what order you went. I guarantee you, there is no way, even if you're meticulous, you gotta do it, or you're gonna forget, and then you're gonna spend all this time trying to figure out where that answer goes to on the template. So don't do it. I promise you don't want to do that. Okay. This one is 21 plus 20. So I'm going to move 21 and 20. So X, 21 at the border. That's the answer. It should be 20. I just got lucky here. X, paste at the border. So then the answer to this one is 41. So now I'm going to move 25. Cut, paste, add the border. And the answer is 41. And I'm going to go here and change. I already forgot what number it was. 25? 41. Yes. See, you're going to forget no matter what. Okay. What's next? This one here is 2. So we're going to cut 24. Man, sometimes I have the memory of like a fish. This is 2. Yeah, right? Juliana, just like it takes you ages after to try and figure out where'd you put it. Where did that one go? It doesn't matter how meticulous you are. It like just go ahead and look at it. I just forgot, right? Again, memory of a fish sometimes. Where that one went. Okay, what's next? This one is, oh man, is it 43? Yeah, this one's gonna be 40. Oh, well, duh, 2 plus. It's gonna be 43. 23 is 43. 23. Unmerge. Cut. Paste. At the border. 43. 23 is 43. Okay. And 22 is going to go here. And this one. So 22 is 25. 22 is 25. Okay. Now this here is going to be 2 again. 19 is 2. All right. Oh, 2. And I don't like that that's blue and it just kind of merges in with this. So I'm going to, again, go to the color, move it up. Now that's orange. I like that better. And then same with this 20, right? It's too close to the orange, the yellow that it starts off with. I guess that's okay. I'm not sure which one I like that better. Yeah, alright, Dory moments. Memory of a fish. All the time. Happens more than I'd like to admit. That's okay, though. Alright, 18. I'm gonna move it here. And 18 on my answer key. This one's 1. So 18 is 1. 17 go here. It's going to be 5. 17 is 5. And I also don't like this color. On these gray ones, I'm going to add more colors in there. Color square in the answer cell. Put in an empty color square. I don't know what you mean, Caroline. Eventually, when I have to add these to other numbers, I'll probably just add some of those colors to those. That's what I'll do. Like the darker, more striking colors for the 20 and the 5. Is that what you meant? $16. This is answer. Oh, okay. 14. I just wanted to make sure. This is 14. This is 14. And this is 12. Perfect. All right, I think I got, now it looks complete, right? Okay, this is the scary part. To go ahead and delete this column now. We don't need it anymore. We've cut and pasted it. So I'm just gonna select like what I don't need and I'm gonna delete it. I just like paying attention to this and make sure that nothing happened, that the whole pixel's still there. It should be if you were cutting and pasting. If not, you'll have to go back and check it out and see what went wrong, okay? In essence, this is done, right? But obviously we have all of these coding here that we have to move into this puzzle, okay? So I'm gonna start off with those, like Caroline was saying. I'm gonna start off with these colors that are too light and I don't like them. I want them to really pop when the students put in their answers. So I am going to right click and conditional formatting. And I'm going to select, again, let me go again. I'm gonna open up, right? So it doesn't matter which one it is, they're gonna be the same, but I'm gonna open up the formula and I'm gonna copy this. Okay, so I'm gonna go Control A to select the whole thing, Control A, and then Control C to copy it. I'm gonna copy that formula. Just hit done, okay? And then I'm gonna start, this one, it doesn't matter where you start. I'm gonna go with number 4 just because I like this pink. And I'm going to paste it to all of these. Paste that formula to all of these, okay? I'm not gonna do anything different right now. And I'll explain why the next step in a little bit. So I'm just pasting, pasting, pasting. Okay, and then you could delete the 4 and you should see that nothing happened to your picture. Okay, because it's no longer part of that picture. Okay, if you want these formulas to show up with this one on your 20, all you got to do is, which is what I'm going to do right now, open it up, click this little box that says select a data range, go to add another range, and then select that 20. Done. Notice how that turned pink. Right now, that's part of this one here. And you can do that to all of them. You don't have to though, right? If this is just a template for your students, it doesn't matter that they can see the coding. Actually, if anything, it's better, right? That they don't have all this coding that they can go through and look up, okay? So you'll see that for the ones that I don't need to change the color, like that I'm happy with the color, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. So I'm gonna go now to this number 5. so that we can do the process again. This is where I want my formula to go. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to copy this. So Control A, Control C, done. And let's use this one here. So I'm going to paste, and I need to change that color. So add range and click 5. Done. And then I'm just going to paste in my way. That's not it. What's going on? Oh, that is the right one, but I need to go click here now. There we go. Done. And delete. That was only 2, so I'm going to add a couple other ones. Again, just to get rid of them, I'm going to use this 14. Same thing, because I already have this pasted. Done. So I finished that one. Okay. And now I got to do that to all of them, and you can really add them to anywhere. Right? Now that I've changed the colors, again, remember, you can use this little box here and add it so that it goes with your formula there, but you don't have to do that. So now I'm just going to kind of go in order and start moving things around. So this 3, conditional formatting. This 3 has way too many, so I'm not going to add any more to it. This one has a ton of them already, so I'm not going to add too many of it. The logic of what, Michelle? Absolutely. I'm happy to explain anything. Yes. So they do need the answers, right, for the colors. But notice how so what these mean, right? So what the reason why these are here is so that it also turns the box that color, right? But really, you just need one of them. You just need one of them to turn the box a color. Only one of them. The rest of them are just kind of here for reformatting purposes, if you may. Right? The coding for 1 to 14, it seems like you are just deleting it. Okay, let me go through the process again. So just kind of explain what's going on, okay? So we'll do it right here with 2 that I haven't messed with. Okay. The number 2, if I got rid of it, right? If I got rid of the formatting for the number 2, what the formula is saying is that if this box is answered 2, right? If the box is answered 2, then all of these pieces here are going to turn orange, right? The image, right? Like this Ghibli image is what I want to turn colors. This doesn't really matter. The number 2 doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect the image, right? What then the answer is what's affecting the image, right? So when this is not there, all of those pixels go away. When this is there, all those pixels show up. That's happening regardless of the box you put your answer in, right? The box you put your answer in doesn't have to change a color, right? That's why some of the block reveals, right, they don't change colors, for example, because all that box is for students to put their answer in and then trigger something somewhere else. Does that make sense? So now when I go in here, I'm going to copy this formula. Again, what this formula is saying is that when J67 is 2, it's going to trigger all those colors, right? So if I copy this formula and I add it to this formula, now this is no longer tied to T7, which is where the number is, right? When I paste it, now this formula is tied to J67, right? And I'm changing these formulas so that they are all tied to this one instead of this one. So when I delete this one, that one is no longer tied to what's changing the color. This one is. This is what's changing the color. So it doesn't matter. Eventually, I'll just delete this column and it doesn't affect anything because I don't need to, in essence, these are now pixels like these. that don't need any answers. They are just switching colors. I hope that makes sense. I was kind of talking a lot. Right, so I'm not deleting it. I'm just changing the formula. And I'm just not adding that box because I don't need that box. And by the way, as teachers, right, we love the questions. I guess where I am confused that you are already have colors tied and now you are changing the ranges. Okay, I'm not changing the ranges, right? No, I'm not changing it at all. So if you notice, like I have already taken out 1, 10, and 14. These don't matter anymore on sheet 2. So I can erase them even here. 1, 10, and 14. There is no coding there anymore. I'm just changing, exactly, I'm changing the target of the formula. So now the formula, instead of being tied to this number 2, is going to be tied to one of these squares, which is why I copy that formula first, right? So like if I want this 20, let's see, which one can I change next? This 2 here, okay? I want to change all of these targets into this one here. So I'm going to copy this one, this formula. And I'm going to paste it all in this one. Paste, paste, paste. Right? So these 3 colors are now affected by this number 2 here. This one, that's T17, is still affected by this 2 here, and I don't want that, so I got to change it. Right? I don't want anything tied to this 2, which is why I go and I delete it after to make sure that none of the pixels are. Maybe this would be a better visual too. Let me go full screen so you can see more of this image. Notice how I'm going to delete this 3, right? All of these images changed colors, right? All of these have changed colors, including this 3 here, right? This one has changed to our like base, okay? Hey, Kim, thank you for being here. Now I'm going to change them to this 5 here, okay? So this 3 to this 5. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to change all of these. So notice what happens to the picture, right? Now that this is true, right? This changed blue. And all of those little blue pieces turned back to blue because this is true. If I delete this 5, those blues went away. Because now this is not true. But my 5 didn't turn blue. Right? My 5 didn't turn blue because I didn't add the blue to this one. I wanted it to be pink. So now watch her hair, right? I just move the formula over. Watch her bow. I just move the formula over. The other colors are probably on the other side of the teapot. All right, so now that's done. All right, I gotta finish now this one. I'm gonna change to this 43 because I'm just gonna keep going now. Copy, paste, paste, and then delete when you're done to make sure the picture doesn't get messed up. Paste, paste, delete when you're done. 7. Which one does it end? Let's do this 2 here. Paste. And again, once you just get the hang of just copy and pasting, deleting the answer kind of helps you see where you left off and make sure that your picture doesn't get distorted. Where's that? All right, I got these 3 to go. This one's fine. Copy. I don't remember anymore which ones I added to and which ones I didn't. That's okay though. All right, last one. Okay, now I'm gonna delete this. Oh, hold on. Let's remove that. Perfect. Now I can delete all the extras. Okay, there's my finished product. Let's see. I'm gonna delete this C here. This is when you can clean it up if you wanted to. I think I'm happy with the way that it looks. I don't want to move anything around. If you change it to like 90%, you can see the whole picture. 75. I'm gonna actually screenshot this so I could share it on Facebook after. Here is a copy of the finished product if you want it. Remember, obviously, before you share it with students, you gotta erase all of those answers. Actually, don't make a copy yet. Let me hide sheet 2. We don't really need to, but we don't need any of these. Bloop. Right? Nothing changed. Perfect. On this one, because the numbers are just scattered, and basically it's just the number bank, I don't really need to do much to hide it. It's just the number bank again. So I'm going to change just the font to white, save myself the trouble. Just make this tiny and then just hide the sheet. Now you can make a copy because sheet 2 is hidden. And that's it. I loved all the questions. Michelle, I hope that I answered yours and that it just kind of makes sense. If you wanted to add it, right, like I showed with the little box, you definitely can so that you can see all of them. So that if you were ever going to like then take that template and rechange it to something else, you could, right? So you could definitely do that if you wanted to. If you are not subscribed, please do. It helps me a ton. I will continue to go live. I'm going to go live again next Sunday at 9 a.m. same time. I'm pretty sure what I'm going to work on is my scavenger hunts. Those have been super hugely popular. I use them as reviews after every single unit. So if you teach Math 7, Math 8, I will definitely share those, all the ones that I've made, and we'll make a couple new ones, okay? Yes, absolutely, right? You can replay it, just go back and watch the pieces that you need to. They're always going to be saved. I am going to, as soon as it uploads, it takes a few minutes, I'll put the description where it'll have all of the links that I shared, okay? Honestly, I would say, no, not really, but I would say like $20. For Sebastian, I asked for $35, but again, he was my own son, and I was currently making all of those activities. At this point, they're all made already, and it's just to help Rodrigo. So if you want, again, it was $35 for Sebastian's, but honestly, like even 20 would be fine. But you do get hundreds of activities. Just as just in my Teachers Pay Teachers, I have one folder of AP Statistics activities, which you would get if you taught AP Stats. Just that folder alone, which has, I think, 60 activities, sells for like $75. And I mean, I sell that quite a few times throughout the year, especially during like AP season for tests. So you are getting hundreds and hundreds of activities. I do share a lot of them for free online, but this is like one dedicated space. There's tons of templates. Michelle, I think you use the block reveal templates, right? There's like a folder, because I know you donated to Sebastian's, and thank you, by the way. Caroline, you too. Absolutely. But there's, I don't know, like 50, 60 templates at least, with also like no content that you can add your own things to it. I will be making 7th grade this year. Yeah. Because that's what I'm teaching. But I mean, I have all the all the other ones, right? I have Algebra 1, I have Algebra 2, this is the first time I'm teaching 7th grade though. So I have to make those activities because I don't have them. Every year, right? I'm teaching something new every year. Not that I don't hate it, right? I don't hate it. I love it. But they do keep moving me around. I think I am, I have this flair about me that brings in collaboration, because I love it, right? I love collaborating with other teachers and being helpful. So I think that's why they kind of place me everywhere, because I'm good at just like bringing that collaboration within a team. So yeah, I'm going to be the lead this year, the Math 7 lead. So time to make a ton of activities. But yeah, I will, you know me, I will always share them as I'm making them. Oh, I love that. Yes, I'll show you. So my drive has a ton, because my daughter, so I make a bunch of activities for my daughter. My daughter is currently going into 3rd grade. She's the reason why I made these puzzles, because she's going into 3rd grade and she loves the activities. So I have a ton, like even elementary, like word stuff, like ELA stuff, because she loves them so much. I guess I could go on here. But I have a ton of elementary stuff. Here's this one, for example. This is for like 1st, 2nd grade. It's like one for every day of the year. There are 200 activities in here. So, for example, this would be like the first day of school, and they're breaking down the numbers, right? So visually, with words. So this one, let's open up some other ones. The spiral reviews, the math spiral reviews here's like addition. Here is, there's a lot of fractions. Here's a math facts one for subtraction. So everything that she used in kinder and everything that she used in 1st and 2nd, she has those there. Those are all in here. And I will continue to make them, because again, she's lower elementary and she loves these. So I make them for her to practice. So these are just like math facts, and yeah, there's a ton of that too. Yeah, the spiral reviews are so fun. Where is that? It's definitely in here. And here, math spiral review. There's 50 of these. These are her favorite. These are her absolute favorite. I have a really fun one with like manipulatives for adding too, somewhere in there, where like the kids can move things around. But yeah, I've never taught elementary, but what I do like to do at her school is I did that this year, where I go and I do a presentation for her class, and I share these things with her teacher. The kids love them. So I just kind of show them. I spend a day with her. She loves it. The kids like it. So yeah, but there's a lot in here. Yeah, I'm not gonna say the majority though, right? Like the majority is definitely middle and up. But since I keep teaching the lower and lower grades, it's gonna keep getting there. Maybe next year I'll be in 6th. Who knows? All right, everybody. This was my longest live. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes. Thank you so much for being here. It really, honestly, anytime that even one person watches, it like makes my entire day. that I get to chat with you guys and just show you. I'm super passionate about education, especially since I started teaching online. I feel like our online community is very underrepresented, and there's so many kids, right? Our school is nearing 10,000. So, yeah. Right, the kids don't see this as work. They see this as fun. And it's awesome, right? To get them to do these. This is why I like to do my reviews. That's why I'm going to share the scavenger hunts, because it can be used for any grade. And the kids actually review for their test and see it as fun. Like, right? Like they review an entire unit and they see it as fun. So I love the scavenger hunts. You're very welcome. But yeah, hopefully you can catch the next one. And if you ever can't catch me live, I'm going to keep doing this once a week, even throughout the school year. I'll keep coming live. I love talking. I'm not going to run out of things to say. So I'll keep showing stuff and freebies and things that I make. Even if you can't catch me live, just watch the replay and all the links will be on there. Okay, and if you want to donate to Rodrigo, I'm sure he would appreciate it. Just send me an email or a message on Instagram if you want access to that drive. Oh, I'm going to share, actually, Mrs. Norman, are you still here? Maybe you already left. But for elementary, I have the number of the days in the Pokemon. Like, oh my, these are from Sebastian's one. Ooh, these are so popular with the kids. So popular with the kids. Pokemon has just like, it never died, right? Yeah, so that's all in here. That's all in here too. So those are a lot. I mean, even my middle school kids, like, they love them and they're practicing multiplication facts. So yeah, I like those a lot. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to change it to just the ending stream in case anybody wants to just kind of chat for a little bit. But I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart being here. I hope that this was useful and helpful. And I can't wait to see if you guys make anything, share it in the Facebook group, right? I mean, everybody loves it, right? It helps everybody. So if you're willing to share something that you make, that's always welcome. Yeah. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. Bye.